Amir Albazi lost for the first time of the weekend against Brandon Moreno, 50-45, 50-45, 49-46.
I didn't think I'm gonna spend the night in the hospital, but Brandon Moreno was a better man tonight. It's not our night, but like he said, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow. I would be back. I would be back better than this. Thank you guys for all the support.
Moreno looked good for the entire 5 rounds, back to his old form, a lot better than he did in his last fight against Roy Val.
I just want to be up on the top again. I want my title back. This is just a reminder for the rest of the division.
Very good fight, my son. Very good fight, my son. Very good fight, my son.
Performance bonuses over the weekend went to Charles Jourdain, another guillotine victory. 3 of his last 4 victories have been by guillotine. This one was over Victor Henry, which is particularly impressive because he's had 31 fights in his career, and this is the first time he's ever been stopped. I'd love to see Moreno stand like that in front of me. I'd make him dance the chicken dance. If he actually let his hands go, he might be able to do that, but he's a lot more hesitant now than he was earlier in his career. We'll see if that changes in his next fight, December 14th against Bruno Silva. Card headlined by Buck versus Cuck. Yusuf Zalal picked up a performance bonus for his victory over Jack Shore. He dropped him with a big knee, and then he choked him on the ground. Tremendous return to the UFC. 3 wins in just over 7 months, and all of them stoppages. Jasmine Jasdavicius got a performance bonus for her victory over Ariana De Silva. Darce choke victory in the 3rd round, her second Darce choke victory in the 3rd round in her last 3 fights. And Dustin Stulcis got a bonus for knocking out Marc-Andre Barrio. Barrio just decided to slug it out with Stulcis at the end of the 1st round. Stulcis obliged, they just threw down, 1 got slept, and 1 got a bonus. Marc-Andre Barrio says, I'm okay, hard pill to swallow once again. We're battle tested for a reason, and I know how to regroup and adjust for what's next. Kill or be killed, but we keep moving forward. He's lost his last 3 fights. The last 2 were 1st round knockouts. The one before this was against Joe Pyfer.
Did you hear the news? You got the bonus.
No way! Let's fucking go, baby! Woo! No, you're joking. You're
50
fucking...
G's, baby.
Woo! My balls is hot.
After his victory of the weekend, now Ayman Zahabi has won 5 in a row over Munoz, Basharat, Ricky Lang, Tercios, and Rodriguez.
I don't think you guys have a line, but I have a line, all right? I'm not going to make this personal, but rest assured, there are people begging me to make this personal.
2.6 million was the gate for the UFC, which was a record. Before that, it was 2.5 in June. Before that, it was 2.4 in May.
Are we going to see more road shows in 2025, kind of leaving the Apex more and more?
Yeah, there will be. There'll be an increased number of events outside of the Apex relative to this year as we get into the 2025 schedule.
With that said, is there always going to be a certain number of Apex events moving forward? Like, it will always be maybe 1 a month? Or
Yeah, I mean, like, it's tough for us to anticipate what 2 or 3 years down the road it's going to look like, but it makes a lot of sense for a lot of reasons. You know, there's a lot of fighters in Vegas. It's easy for us operationally. It's obviously, you know, simple from a budgetary perspective, and you know, the rigor and the pressure and, you know, how laborious it can be to be on the road. I mean, you guys know it. You're, you know, week in, week out with us and other promotions. It's tough, and so I think having home games and being in the Apex where, you know, you can just turn off the lights and lock the door. It makes a lot of sense for us. So will we ever get back to pre-COVID of no Apex? I don't think so. But I think we're going to find the right balance for us.
But they are back at the UFC Apex next weekend for UFC Apex 100. Magny versus Pratev headlines the show. Co-main event, Cody Garbrandt versus Miles Johns. Also got Kovacevic versus Gomez, Tercios versus Opai, Mearshart versus De Ridder making his UFC debut. That's going to be an interesting one. De Ridder's a big favorite, but Mearshart's MO is taking a fucking vicious beating for the entire fight and making a miracle comeback submission at the end. And kicking off the card, Luana Pinheiro versus Jillian Robertson. Not only was it the highest grossing gate, it was the third longest fight time in UFC history. 3 hours, 6 minutes, and 38 seconds. Really? It felt longer. These events are long. If you go live, you're going to be there for a long time, like 7 hours. Imagine watching a 7-hour basketball game. That's why some of these guys just show up for the main card. They don't want to be there packing 10 lunches. Who cares about these women's fights? The co-main event definitely didn't need to be 5 rounds, but it benefited Erin Blanchfield. If it was a 3-round fight, she would have lost. She dropped the first 2 rounds and won the next 3. She did the same thing against Tyler Santos. Dropped the first 2 rounds, won the next 3. Erin Blanchfield was ranked number 3, wants to take on number 1 ranked Alexa Grasso next. That's a fight that does make sense. And Shevchenko can take on number 2 ranked Manon Fiorot. Number 4 ranked Macy Barber was enjoying Erin Blanchfield losing, but she tweeted too soon. There's also a women's fight on the UFC pay-per-view in 2 weeks. UFC 309, you have Viviane Araújo versus Karine Silva on that card. That card just added a 14th fight just yesterday. Marcin Tybura versus Janata Denise. Different stylistic matchup for Denise. Originally, he was supposed to fight Derek Lewis yesterday, so he didn't have to worry about takedowns at all. But against Tybura, he's going to have to worry about the takedowns and the ground game too. Hamzat doing a tour in Australia in December. You can meet and train with him in Sydney, Melbourne, Perth, and Brisbane. Hopefully this is a precursor for him fighting in Australia and Sydney in February at UFC 312 against DDP. That's the fight DDP wants. That's the fight Hamzat wants. That's not the fight Strickland wants. But all that matters is what the UFC wants. A nice mural of Ilia Topuria in the streets of Barcelona, a city where his next fight could take place in 2025.
We're talking to Madrid and Barcelona. That's who we're talking to. We'll see what happens.
Charlie, Dodson, the most annoying man in the world at the back right there. Let's go, John!
Then it's not, nobody knows about politics. That's another thing in this whole thing. Very ignorant on the politics and very ignorant on the economy. It's not that we don't have enough money, it's that everything is too expensive. You guys understand that? To make 1.4 million people rich overnight, what you need to do is drop the price. Economics, all that bullshit in the university, waste time. It's all a waste of time.